Update on my foster mom hating me situation. Copy of the original post. Hi everyone, thanks for all of your advice. Except for that one person in my inbox who kept insisting I need to talk to my parents about the whole thing. I tried to call my caseworker but apparently they're super understaffed, so she didn't answer, but she texted me telling me she'd set up an appointment for sometime next week or the week after. So I called Jeremiah and told him the entire situation and he flipped out. He told me Angela has always been paranoid and jealous, but he never thought it would get this far. I told him everything that happened while he was gone and how she treated me when he wasn't around. He was really mad. He came home early from his trip. He was supposed to come home this afternoon but got back at like 2 a.m. They didn't know I was awake, but I overheard them fighting. I guess she's been really jealous for a while because he was saying, "You told me this wouldn't be an issue," and stuff like that. When I woke up this morning she wasn't here. Jeremiah said she's staying at her mom's for a few days to clear her head. I'm glad your foster dad has your back in this op. It sounds like this isn't the first time his wife has pulled something like this out of unreasonable jealousy. Unfortunately, if your foster mom is this unhinged, then I doubt this will be the last time you have to deal with this kind of thing whilst you're still living there, but hopefully you can get enough peace to make it through until you're able to move out. You handled this exactly right, and I'm glad to hear that Jeremiah took it seriously and went to the effort to come back ASAP and support you. One important thing to keep in mind is that this was an issue long before you arrived. Even if your presence serves as a catalyst that brings it to the surface, you did not cause this conflict and you are not responsible for any fallout that results from it. This should be his reaction. She needs help so she can understand you, or anyone else, is not a threat. You have been incredibly strong trying to figure out so much on your own. Super proud of you. Mom for a minute. Found hair ties in fiancé's car with hair that's not mine. Please excuse my poor post, lol. It's my first time posting on Reddit. I, 28F, have been engaged to my 30M fiancé for about 1 year and overall in a relationship for 5 years. I just recently moved into his place. I'd say we've been living together for the past 4/5 of a month. Even before I moved in we would spend a lot of time together. We have a healthy amount of friends, and engage in our own hobbies. We are in pretty good places in our personal lives and have really been great together for most of this time. Lately, I've been noticing that he hasn't been as present when we're together. Forgetting things I say, forgetting important dates, plans, etc. For the past about 3 months we have been having sex only about once a month. Which is extremely not normal for us. We talked about it and it hasn't been a problem since. That was about 2 weeks ago. Fast forward to 2 days ago. We are driving home from a sports event and I rest my hand in the passenger's door handle where the arm rest is at. And I pull up a set of 2 very small rubber bands with blonde hairs intertwined in both bands. I am not blonde. Nor do I own any of those rubber bands. I am 100% brunette and none of our close friends or my sister or his sister, mom are blonde. I pulled them closer to him and asked, "Whose are these?" He simply responded with, "I don't know." I asked again, "Well, I'm not blonde, so whose are these?" He responds, "I don't know, what do you want me to tell you?" I completely shut down and didn't talk to him for a few hours. Hours later I asked him again to please tell me whose hair it was. He said he is going to figure out whose hair it was. At the end he told me he would never disrespect me like that and he's very sorry about even making me feel so upset. I really want to believe that maybe it was a coworker's, or just believe him in general, but that hair is evidence, right? I have not looked at him the same. The lack of sex also make me question if there was another woman this whole time. Has anyone ever dealt with something similar? I don't know how to proceed here. I'm still shocked. TLR, I found a hair tie with another woman's hair in fiancé's car. I don't know if that equals cheating, or how to proceed, but I want answers. Don't jump to conclusions, it may not mean cheating. It could be something as simple as a kidnapping. The lack of sex and him not being present are definitely usually red flags, but let's not jump to conclusions. However, I do want to ask, have you noticed him being more secretive with his phone? Maybe texting a little more than usual? I also find his reaction weird. The rubber band didn't just materialize in his car. I think he knows exactly whose hair and rubber band it was. And I think he would have told you who that was. Everything was so above board. If it was a normal relationship with whoever was in the car, he'd be honest and tell you exactly who it was, and why they were in the car. For example, if he was carpooling with a few colleagues. This is shady. Don't let it go, until he tells you exactly whose hair and why they were in the car. Anyone else just sick of their so? I'm going through what I think is a phase where I'm just hating on my boyfriend. Every little thing he does irritates me and he fuels everything even more by his stupid responses. He's driving me nuts at the moment. I'm sure I would be naive to think people in long-term relationships never go through this. But I'm just wondering, anyone out there, how do you get your anger towards your significant other out in a healthy way? He's pissing me off and I need to get this rage out of me. We communicate so he knows I'm pissed by him, etc. But I still need me time to burn off this annoyance I have for him at the moment. Any tips? In my experience, when I'm annoyed with my partner, gratitude puts the annoyance out pretty fast. When I feel myself annoyed by something small, I try to notice or remind myself of something she does that I really appreciate. It just helps me course correct. Yay. It happens. I've been with my wife 7 years and there's time where that woman drives me nuts, but lordy do I love that woman with every part of my being. All relationships have an ebb and flow. I think of it as a fire. Sometimes it's just hot coals simmering and sometimes it's a huge burning flame you can barely control. To make it burn you need to add fuel to the fire for it to burn big and bright. It's good to talk. Work together on ways to make each other's lives easier. It's good to allocate time, do romantic things, have some hot sex. Just discuss nothing and everything. Sometimes you just need to let things go and throw yourself into them and get that closeness going. Boyfriend, 24 male. Says I'm 28 female. Not feminine and have a big ego. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 3 years now, and whenever we have a fight and I defend myself he tells me that I have a big ego and I am not feminine. Today I messaged him about home insurance because a few months ago we were looking at some for the apartment we are renting. And he tells me it's too expensive, just leave it to the side and we will figure it out, or don't even do it cause nothing ever happens to the apartment. Fast forward to today, I receive an email from the agency we are renting the apartment from and they tell me they need to see proof of insurance in 10 days. I message him and he calls me, so when I told him it was his problem that he didn't do it, he gets mad and says that I am the one that's at fault and I'm the one that told him not to do it, which isn't the case. And when I kept insisting it was him, he told me he wasn't going to talk to me and closed the phone. He then texts me and says I should handle it on my own and he won't help me cause I was acting tough. Then I proceeded to tell him that in the meantime he should find a place of his own, since he put me in this situation and doesn't want to help, to which he got mad and asked if I was serious about him moving out, and he exploded on me, saying I was not feminine, and I have a big ego for a woman, and he didn't want to feel emasculated by me to control myself and remember that I am a woman and he's a man. He also said his ego couldn't handle me kicking him out. Even though I didn't mean it, it was a response for him not wanting to help out on basic things for the apartment. I don't know how to deal with this situation, as I feel I cannot stick up for myself at all, otherwise it will be seen as me being tough, which is not the case. Kick him out and find a guy that doesn't blame his mistakes on your gender. He sounds like an idiot. It's not my job to make you feel like a man. I can't make you something you are not. Astrid, Crazy Rich Asians. Dump him. Find someone who likes a girl with brains and instant. He isn't going to get any better. You're dating an obvious sexist. Do you really want to continue this relationship? Like really? This guy sounds like in a hole. No decent man tries to tear people down because he's losing an argument. That's jerk behavior. I do not know how to deal with this situation, leave. He's a misogynistic pig who is also irresponsible and he gaslights you. Why would you want to be with someone like this? Run as quickly as you can.